Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Okay, so it's hard to believe, but we are almost done with our second year of Monday Night Live. We've only got, after tonight, 3 more events for 2010. So tonight we have Heather Haxo Phillips. We'll be talking to you. Tonight we are blessed to have Chef Heather Haxo Phillips and her lovely assistant Bashir. I'm not sure if you're going to be helping or not, but her husband here. Heather's the founder of Raw Bay Area. She is an accomplished raw food chef who teaches classes throughout the Bay Area at premier venues such as Whole Foods Market and Cafe Gratitude. She's a certified raw food chef and instructor and graduate of the Living Light Culinary Arts Institute. Her holistic approach to food and well-being makes Heather a popular teacher and for participants at all levels, which is so important to be able to really speak to different levels, people at different places on the path. When you spend time with her, you will find tools and inspiration to infuse more health and fulfillment into your life. Students say Heather's classes are inspiring, informative, well-presented, and fun. An event planner in her previous life, Heather has stepped up to create some exciting raw food events in our area, including the Holiday Survival event, which she will be talking about. That's coming up here in November. Should be a lot of fun. We will definitely be there. And it also puts her in a great position to be able to teach us about her topic tonight, Effortless Entertaining, and she will also be demoing a raw nut cheese. Please put your hands together for Heather Haxo Phillips.
Thank you, everybody, for having me here. I'm really excited to be here for Monday Night Live, and the first thing that I'd like to suggest is that everybody come really close, because I'm going to be teaching you some things that will require you to be able to see what I have here on the table. So if you can't see what I have here, you can fill in the seats, come up as close as you can. I smell good, I'm clean, you can get right up here in my face. I also have a blue clipboard. If you want to hear more from me, you can put your email at the blue clipboard. Maybe you could pass that clipboard around. Bashir, would you mind helping me? I do want to thank my trusted assistant and provider in life, as well as my business, Bashir, for driving me here from Oakland.
All right.
Oakland's in the house. All right, so what we're going to do today is I will first start by introducing myself a little bit. I'll start off making some cheese. I will need some helpers, so if you think you'd like to help me up here at the table, I'd enjoy that. Then we'll get a little bit into Effortless Holiday Entertaining, and we'll finish off with some cheese that all of you will be able to try. Does that sound like a good plan? All right, so to introduce myself, let me get in a position where I can see all of you. I think that'll be nicer. So to introduce myself, as Stephen mentioned, I teach raw food classes throughout almost all of the Cafe Gratitudes. This is the first time I've ever been in Healdsburg, but I teach at all the other Cafe Gratitudes on a regular basis, and I teach at Whole Foods up and down the West Coast. And the first question that everybody asks me is, how did you get into raw food? So a little bit about that. I went to my first cooking class at about age 12. My mom sent me to the little community center in Oakland where I grew up, and they taught us this dish that they felt was so ingenious. You took a carton and you unwrapped pastry that was inside of it, and then you took a hot dog and you wrapped the pastry around the hot dog, and that was called a pig in a blanket. And that was amazingly delicious food that you should go home and serve to your family. And even at that age of 12, I knew that food that came in boxes and cans really wasn't food. That there was nothing creative or delicious about a pig in a blanket. And fast forward many years, I spent, yes, I had a career in event planning and fundraising, but I also spent a lot of time in catering companies and in restaurants and delis, front of the house, back of the house. I was really interested in food. I grew up quite overweight, My father is in advanced stages of diabetes. And when the doctor said to him, you're going to die a whole lot sooner than you ever planned if you don't do something about it, I said, let's go to Weight Watchers, because I am going to die a whole lot sooner than I planned if I don't do something about it, because I'm going to end up just like my father. So my dad and I went to Weight Watchers. He lasted one meeting. And I kept going back. I lost the weight that I wanted to lose, but I didn't feel that much better. I had a hard time keeping the weight off. I felt like I was constantly struggling. And I felt also that I was eating a healthy diet. I was eating a primarily vegetarian diet. I ate lots of salads. I exercised a lot. I felt, in general, pretty happy and felt like I was doing the things that I needed to be doing. But I knew that one shouldn't have to struggle. A person shouldn't have to struggle with your weight. That isn't something that any of us should have to suffer through. So I was looking for something else. That something else came in the form of this book right here. I was with Bashir's family, and when I am with them, I don't speak Arabic. They do, so I read a lot. I'd run out of all my books. I was desperately searching for a book to entertain myself. And this book was just there on the bookshelf. And at the time, this is the second edition, but the first edition was 12 Steps to Ending Your Addiction to Cooked Foods by Victoria Butenko. And just seeing that on the spine, 12 Steps to Ending Your Addiction to Cooked Foods, I thought, wow, what a provocative title. I know that cooked food is addictive. I knew that without even needing to read a book. But somebody actually writing a book about that was totally shocking to me. So I read the book. I didn't put it down. For 2 days I read the book. And it's a story, if you haven't read this book, of Victoria, how she healed her family from serious chronic diseases, including asthma, including diabetes. And they were extremely overweight and had health problems that related to their obesity. After reading this book, I said to Bashir, I think this is what I need to do. I think that this is what I've been looking for. It was the first and only time in my life that by reading a book, I knew that everything in my life from that time on was different. So Bashir said, well, if you want to go raw, that's fine with me. Don't expect me to eat any of your food, but I'll support you in what you're doing. And I said, great. So I went 100% raw cold turkey. That was about 4 years ago. Once I went raw, I felt immensely better emotionally. I already thought I felt pretty good. I was pretty happy. I exercised a lot. I had endorphins, running through my body aplenty. But the clarity of thinking that I experienced on a raw food diet completely shocked me. I believe that's not just because of the high nutritional value, but because we're no longer eating things with pesticides and additives and ingredients that have been made in a lab and that we can't pronounce. All those things that were in the pigs in a blanket that I had been suggested to me many years before. So I went to culinary school and quit my day job, and now I have a whole new day job, a whole new lifestyle, and I've been teaching raw food classes for about 3 years now. So that's a little bit about my journey, and today Bashir does eat quite a lot of my food and enjoys it, and so does my family and my friends, and it's been a really wonderful journey. And really everybody in my life has embraced it as much as I could possibly hope and possibly expect. It was a surprise to me, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we talk about holiday entertaining. So now we're going to do cheese. We're going to talk about cheese, and I'm going to get the cheese started as I talk. I will need some help, so who would like to help me with this cheese? Do you want to help? Do you want to wash your hands? I need another helper. I really could even use 3 helpers. Anybody else? It's not complicated. Don't be frightened. You get to be up here to see what's happening. 2 other people? Okay, why don't you wash your hands? Can you do that? And Bashir, could you grab the hot water now, the boiling water, ready for that? They have a container out there. Okay, so how do we even come up with this topic? Shea called me and she said, I need a teacher and I need a topic. What can you do? And I don't know why effortless holiday entertaining just popped out of my head. And I think the reason is because she told me what the date was, and I knew that all of us are starting to think about what this holiday season is going to be like.